I was wiping down the kitchen counter when I saw it. A notification. Facebook. My hands were still damp from the dishwater. Gavin got married, not Gavin's engaged. Not save the date, married. The photo showed him in a gray suit I'd never seen, standing next to a woman in white. Her name was Tessa. I learned that from the comments. 43 people congratulating my son on a wedding I didn't know existed. I sat down hard on the kitchen chair. My phone was shaking. No, my hands were shaking. The phone was fine. I scrolled. There were 12 photos. The ceremony looked small. Maybe 20 people. I recognized his college buddy in the background. His coworker from the firm. But not me. I wasn't there. I called him. Straight to voicemail. I called again. Same thing. I texted, Gavin, I saw the photos. Call me please. 3 hours later, nothing. I made tea I didn't drink. I sat on the couch where Franklin used to sit, back when he was alive and things made sense. The house felt bigger than usual. Quieter. Around 9 p.m., my phone buzzed. Gavin, sorry mom, it was last minute. Really small thing. Didn't want to stress you out with travel. We lived 20 minutes apart. I typed 5 different responses and deleted them all. Finally, I just wrote, congratulations. He sent back a heart emoji. A heart emoji. I'd raised this man for 32 years. Changed his diapers. Stayed up when he had croup. Co-signed his first car loan. And I got a heart emoji. I went back to Facebook. Tessa's profile was public. I clicked. Her smile was wide. Perfect teeth. The kind of blonde that comes from a salon, not genetics. In her photos she was always holding a glass of wine or posing at some restaurant. Lots of selfies. Lots of hashtags. One post from 3 months ago, finally found my forever love. 3 months. They'd been together 3 months and got married. I zoomed in on the wedding photo. Tessa's hand rested on Gavin's chest. Her nails were long, painted red. On her ring finger sat a diamond I'd never seen him buy. Wait, I looked closer. That wasn't just any diamond. I opened my photos. Scrolled back 2 years. Found the picture. My engagement ring. The one Franklin gave me in 1983. The one I'd kept in my jewelry box after he died. The one I told Gavin he could give to someone special someday. She was wearing my ring. He gave her my ring and didn't tell me. He married her and didn't invite me. My chest got tight. Not like a heart attack. Like someone was sitting on it. I called again. Voicemail. I texted, is that my ring? No response. I paced the living room. 8 steps to the window. 8 steps back. Franklin's photo watched me from the mantel. He looked disappointed. What do I do? I asked him. He didn't answer. He never did anymore. At midnight I gave up and went to bed. But I didn't sleep. I just stared at the ceiling and wondered what I'd done wrong. Wondered why my only son would cut me out of the biggest day of his life. Wondered who this Tessa really was. The next morning, my doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone. I threw on my robe and checked the peephole. Gavin. I opened the door. He looked tired. His tie was loose. He had coffee in his hand, but he wasn't drinking it. Hi mom. Hi. We stood there. Awkward. Like strangers. Can I come in? I stepped aside. He walked to the couch and sat in Franklin's spot. That bothered me more than it should have. I'm sorry, he said. About the wedding. It just happened fast. 3 months isn't fast, Gavin. It's reckless. His jaw tightened. You don't even know her. Whose fault is that? Silenced. He set the coffee down. Tessa wanted something small. Just us. No big production. I'm your mother, I know. Then why wasn't I there? He looked at his hands. She thought it would be easier this way. Less pressure. Pressure. Yet, I crossed my arms. And the ring? You said I could use it. I said you could give it to someone special. I didn't say you could give it to someone I've never met. You're being dramatic, dramatic. That word landed like a slap. Get out. He looked up. Mom, get out of my house. He stood slowly. I came here to make things right. You came here to make yourself feel better. There's a difference. He walked to the door. Stopped. Turned back. Tessa wants to meet you. Properly. She's planning a dinner. This weekend. I'm busy. No, you're not. He was right. I wasn't. Please, Mom. Just give her a chance. For me. I wanted to say no. I wanted to slam the door. But he looked so much like Franklin in that moment, same eyes, same hopeful expression, that I couldn't define. One dinner. He smiled. Actually smiled. Thank you. Saturday. 6 p.m. Our place, your place, yeah. We just moved in together. Of course they did. He left. I locked the door behind him. I walked to the mantel and picked up Franklin's photo. I have a bad feeling about this, I whispered. The house didn't argue. For a year, Tessa played perfection. She brought flowers, remembered anniversaries, and called me Mom loud enough for neighbors to hear. At my 72nd birthday, she arrived 40 minutes late, carrying a cake too large to be kind. Photographs caught smiles, but the corners of her mouth never softened. During dinner she steered conversation toward my health, hinting that forgetfulness runs in families. Guests chuckled politely. I tasted metal in my mouth but said nothing. Later, when I carried dishes to the sink, she brushed past me too close, her elbow clipped my ribs, I stumbled, the counter caught my hip. Careful, Mom, she cooed. By morning a purple bruise bloomed across my side. Gavin said I must have tripped. The next photo she posted of me was cropped just above the mark. Saturday came too fast. I stood in front of my closet for 20 minutes trying to decide what to wear. Like clothes would protect me from whatever this dinner was going to be, I settled on the blue cardigan. Franklin always said it brought out my eyes. The drive to Gavin's new place took 12 minutes. I counted everyone. The house was nice. 2 stories. White trim. A porch with furniture that looked too clean to actually sit on. This wasn't a starter home. This was money. Gavin's salary was good, but not this good. I knocked. Tessa opened the door before the second knock. You must be Diane. She pulled me into a hug I wasn't ready for. Her perfume was strong. Sweet. The kind that stays on your clothes for days. It's so wonderful to finally meet you properly. Her voice was loud. Excited. Too excited. I stepped inside. The house smelled like vanilla candles and new carpet. Everything was white or gray or that weird beige people call greige. Nothing looked lived in. Gavin appeared from the kitchen. Hey Mom, hey. Tessa looped her arm through mine like we were old friends. Let me give you the tour. I didn't want a tour. I wanted to sit down and get this over with, but she was already pulling me through the living room, pointing at furniture, talking fast. That couch is from West Elm. Super comfortable. And this rug? Restoration Hardware. It was on sale but still cost more than my first car. She laughed. I didn't. She led me upstairs. Showed me the guest room. The bathroom with the fancy rain shower. Then the master bedroom. This is our sanctuary, she said, gesturing like a realtor. The bed was huge. White comforter. Gray pillows. A framed photo of their wedding sat on the nightstand. My ring glinted in the picture. Beautiful, right? Tessa said, watching me. It's very clean. She laughed again. That same delayed laugh. I like things organized. Gavin says I'm obsessed. I said particular. Gavin corrected from the hallway. Same thing. She winked at me. We went back downstairs. Dinner was already set on the table. Roasted chicken. Potatoes. Green beans. Rolls from a bakery, not homemade. I sat. Tessa sat across from me. Gavin poured wine. I don't drink, I reminded him. Oh, it's just a small glass, Tessa said, filling mine anyway. It's celebratory. I didn't touch it. Tessa raised her glass. To family, Gavin clinked. I lifted mine an inch and set it back down. We ate. Tessa asked questions. So many questions. How long had I lived in my house? Did I have help with the yard? Was I still driving? Did I ever get confused about my medications? That last one made me pause. No. Why would I? Oh, no reason. My grandmother used to mix hers up all the time. It's so common at your age. I was 72. Not ancient, Gavin cleared his throat. Tessa's just concerned, Mom. She works in healthcare. I'm a medical billing specialist, she corrected. Then to me, so I see a lot of elderly patients who struggle. Elderly. I cut into my chicken. It was dry. This house must be a lot to manage alone, Tessa continued. How many bedrooms? 3. That's so much space for one person. Have you ever thought about downsizing? No, it might be easier. Less stairs. Less upkeep. Plus the equity you'd get? You could live somewhere really nice. One of those senior communities with activities. I set my fork down. I like my house. Of course you do. It's just something to think about. For the future, Gavin refilled his wine. He wasn't making eye contact. Tessa smiled. Gavin's told me so much about growing up there. I'd love to see it sometime, maybe. How about tomorrow? I'm free in the afternoon. I could bring lunch. I'm busy. Low. Her smile tightened. Well, whenever works for you. The rest of dinner was small talk. Tessa dominated. She talked about her job, her friends, her plans to redecorate the guest room. Gavin nodded along like a dashboard ornament. I counted the minutes until I could leave. When dessert came, store-bought pie with ice cream, Tessa pulled out her phone. We should get a picture. Our first family dinner. Before I could protest, she was next to me, arm around my shoulders. Gavin leaned in on my other side. She held the phone high. Say cheese. I didn't say anything. The flash went off. Perfect. She showed Gavin. I'm posting this. Maybe ask first, I said. Oh, it's fine. Everyone posts family stuff. She typed fast. I watched her caption it. Finally got to meet my amazing mother-in-law. So blessed. Red heart. #family. #blessed. #new beginnings. My stomach turned. Can I go home now? I asked Gavin. He looked hurt. We haven't even had coffee yet. I'm tired. Tessa touched my hand. Her nails were still red. Still long. Of course you are. It's been such a big evening. I pulled my hand back. Gavin walked me to my car. The porch light cast long shadows. She's trying, Mom. Trying what? To be part of the family. She wants my house. What? No, she doesn't. She asked about downsizing. About equity. She's already planning what to do with it. You're reading into things. Am I? He sighed. Rubbed his face. Can you just give her a chance? Please. I unlocked my car. I did. I came to dinner. One dinner isn't a chance. It's all I've got right now. I drove home in silence. My phone buzzed at a red light. Facebook. Tessa had tagged me in the photo. I looked awful. Tired. Old. She looked radiant. 47 people had already liked it. I deleted the tag. At home, I locked the door. Both locks. Checked them twice. I looked at Franklin's photo. She's going to be a problem, I said. He didn't disagree. 3 weeks later, Tessa showed up at my door unannounced. Surprise! I brought muffins. She was already walking inside before I could say no. I followed her to the kitchen. She set a bakery box on the counter and started opening cabinets like she lived there. Where do you keep your plates? Left of the sink. She pulled out 2. Arranged muffins. Poured coffee from my pot without asking. I was in the neighborhood, she said. Thought I'd check on you. I'm fine, good. Gavin worries. She bit into a muffin. These are amazing. Blueberry. Your favorite, right? I'd never told her my favorite anything. We sat at the table. She talked. I half listened, something felt off, her eyes kept moving. Scanning the room. The window. The hallway. The mail stacked on the counter. You get a lot of mail, she said. Not really, some of it looks important. You want help going through it? No, she sipped her coffee. Gavin mentioned you sometimes forget to pay bills on time. He said that, he's just concerned. It's normal at your, she caught herself. It's normal to need help sometimes. I don't need help. Of course not. I'm just saying if you ever do, we're here. She stood. Walked to the sink. Started washing dishes that were already clean. You don't have to do that, I don't mind. I like helping. I watched her. The way she moved. Confident. Comfortable. Like she'd been here before. Did Gavin give you a key? She froze for half a second. What? No. Why? Just asking. He wouldn't do that without telling you. She dried her hands. Can I use your bathroom? Down the hall. She disappeared. I sat there listening. The bathroom door closed. Water ran. Then silence, too much silence. I got up. Walked quietly down the hall. The bathroom door was still closed. But I heard something else. A drawer opening. In Franklin's study, I pushed the door open. Tessa stood at his desk, holding his old ledger. The one with property records. Account numbers. Everything organized the way Franklin always kept things. What are you doing? She jumped. Smiled fast. Oh. I got turned around. Thought this was the bathroom. The bathroom's across the hall, right? Silly me. She set the ledger down. Too carefully. This is a beautiful room. Your husband's? Yes, he kept great records. So organized, he was meticulous. She walked past me. Too close. I should go. Early meeting tomorrow. I followed her to the door. Thanks for the muffins, I said, not meaning it. Anytime. She hugged me. I didn't hug back. Oh, before I forget, Gavin and I are updating our emergency contacts. Can you write down your birthday and social security number? Just in case something happens. In case what happens, you know. Medical emergency. We'd need access to your insurance information. Gavin already has that, does he? He wasn't sure. She pulled out her phone. I can just put it in here real quick. I'll call him later. Her smile thinned. Sure. No problem. She left. I locked the door. Went straight to Franklin's study. The ledger was back on the shelf. But not in the right spot. Franklin always kept its spine out, third from the left. It was fourth now. I pulled it down. Flipped through. Nothing missing. But the pages felt wrong. Like someone had been reading them. I checked the desk drawers. Everything looked normal. But the lockbox where I kept important documents, birth certificates, deed to the house, Franklin's will, was pushed back further than usual. Had she tried to open it? I sat in Franklin's chair and looked around. This room used to feel safe. Now it felt exposed. My phone buzzed. Gavin, Tessa said she stopped by. Thanks for being nice to her. I didn't respond. Another text, she really likes you. I turned off my phone. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the ledger. The lockbox. The way she'd asked about bills and medical information. I got up. Found a notebook. Started writing. Date, what happened. What she said. What felt wrong. Then I went through the house checking things. My jewelry box slightly moved, the stack of mail in a different order. My prescription bottles labels facing out when I always kept them facing in. Small things. Things most people wouldn't notice, but I noticed. I wrote it all down. At 2 a.m. I locked my bedroom door. The latch clicked loud in the silence. I felt ridiculous. This was my house. I shouldn't have to lock my door, but I did it anyway. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Franklin's voice played in my head. Something he used to say when he reviewed contracts: watch the people who smile too easily. They're usually selling something you don't want to buy. Tessa smiled all the time. What was she selling? More importantly, what was she trying to buy? I thought about my house. The equity. The life insurance payout from Franklin that I'd invested. The savings account he'd built over 40 years. I wasn't rich. But I wasn't poor either, and now Tessa knew that. My mother's face flashed in my memory. Her warning from years ago. Don't hand the key to anyone who smiles too easily. Too late. I'd already let her in. The question now was how to get her out. I reached for my phone. Typed a text to Gavin, then deleted it. He wouldn't believe me. Not yet. She'd been too careful. Too sweet. I needed proof. I needed time. I needed to be smart. So I turned off the light and pretended to sleep, while my mind spun plans in the dark. Tomorrow I'd call the bank. Change my passwords. Check my accounts. Tomorrow I'd start fighting back, but quietly, because if Tessa thought she'd already won, she'd get sloppy, and sloppy people make mistakes. I just had to wait. My 73rd birthday arrived on a Tuesday. I woke up hoping everyone would forget. They didn't. Gavin called at 8 a.m. Tessa's planning something special. Be at our place at 2. I don't want a party. It's not a party. Just a small barbecue. Neighbors. Friends. Low-key meant Tessa was in charge. Can we just do dinner? The 3 of us, Mom. She's been planning this for weeks. Please don't make this difficult. I almost said no. Almost faked sick. Almost stayed home, but something told me I needed to go. Needed to see what she was planning. Fine. 2 o'clock. I wore the blue cardigan again. Franklin's favorite. Like armor, the drive felt longer this time. When I pulled up, there were already a dozen cars parked on the street. Music drifted from the backyard. Laughter. The smell of grilling meat, not low-key at all. I sat in my car for 5 minutes trying to convince myself to leave. My phone buzzed. Gavin, where are you? Me. Parking. I got out. The front door was open. I walked through the house to the back patio. 30 people. Maybe more. Balloons. A banner that said, "Happy Birthday, Diane," in letters too big to be kind. Tessa spotted me immediately. There she is. The birthday girl. Everyone turned. Clapped. Sang happy birthday off-keyed. I wanted to disappear. Tessa pulled me into the center of the patio. Her arm around my shoulders. Her grip tight. Speech. Someone called. Oh, I don't. Come on, Mom, Gavin said. He was smiling, but his eyes looked tired. Say something. I looked at the faces. Most of them I didn't know. Tessa's friends. Gavin's co-workers. A couple neighbors from their street. Thank you for coming, I said. Short. Simple. Tessa squeezed my shoulder. Isn't she sweet? So humble. People laughed. I didn't know why. Go sit, Mom, Tessa said, steering me toward a lawn chair. You look tired. I'm fine. You're pale. Here. She pushed me into the chair. Stay put. I'll bring you food. I sat because everyone was watching. The party continued around me. Music. Conversations I wasn't part of. I picked a potato salad I didn't want. Tessa worked the crowd. Hugging people. Refilling drinks. Playing the perfect hostess in a house that was half Gavin's, but she acted like she owned all of it. I watched her. The way she moved. Confident. Calculated. She caught me staring and winked. An hour passed. Maybe 2. I lost track, then Tessa appeared next to me. Wineglass in hand. Already half empty. Having fun? Sure, you don't look like it. I'm fine. She sat on the arm of my chair. Too close. Her perfume was suffocating. You know what your problem is, Diane? I didn't answer. You don't know how to let people in. You're so closed off. I'm private. You're cold. She sipped her wine. Gavin says you've been like this since Franklin died. Just shut down. Gavin said that. He worries about you. We both do. I stood up. I should go, already? We haven't even cut the cake. I'm tired, see? That's what I mean. You're always tired. Always leaving early. Always making excuses. People were starting to watch. Tessa. Gavin appeared, touching her arm. Maybe. She pulled away from him. No. She needs to hear this. Hear what? I asked. That you're not as sharp as you used to be. That you forget things. That you need help but you're too stubborn to ask for it. My chest tightened. I don't forget things, really? Because last week you called Gavin 3 times asking the same question. I didn't, you did. He told me. You're getting confused, Diane. It's okay. It happens. But you need to admit it. Stop. We're trying to help you, I said. Stopped. I turned to walk away. Her hand grabbed my arm. Hard. Don't walk away from me. I yanked free. Don't touch me. You're being dramatic. Leave me alone. You're embarrassing yourself. I pushed past her, and that's when she hit me. Her palm connected with my cheek. Sharp. Fast. The sound cracked across the patio. Everything stopped. The music kept playing but no one moved. No one spoke. My face burned. My ear rang. Tessa's eyes went wide. Like she'd surprised herself. Then Gavin was there. Between us, she didn't mean it, he said. To me. To everyone. Mom, you pushed her first. I didn't push her, you did. I saw it. You pushed her and she reacted. It was an accident. An accident, yeah. His voice was shaking. You provoked her. I looked at him. Really looked at him. He believed it. Or he wanted to believe it. Either way, he'd chosen her. I'm leaving. I walked through the house. My vision blurred. Not from tears. From rage. Behind me, Tessa's voice carried. I'm so sorry, everyone. She's been having episodes lately. We're looking into care facilities. I slammed the front door so hard a picture fell off the wall. I drove home too fast. Hands shaking. Face throbbing. At home, I went straight to the bathroom. Looked in the mirror. A red mark spread across my cheek. Already darkening at the edges. By tomorrow it would be purple. I touched it. Winced. My phone buzzed. 30 times in 5 minutes. Facebook notifications. Someone had posted a photo. I opened it, the moment before the slap. Me facing Tessa. Her hand raised. My expression shocked. The caption, family drama at the barbecue. #yikes. 40 comments already, most of them sympathetic. To Tessa, poor girl, dealing with a difficult male. Elderly people can get so aggressive. My grandma was like this before we moved her to memory care. I read every comment. Each one a knife. Then I saw the second photo. Right after the slap. My hand on my face. Tessa looking horrified. Gavin between us. Someone had captured it perfectly, and now it was online. Permanent. Proof, except it wasn't proof of what actually happened. It was proof of what Tessa wanted people to believe, that I was the problem, that I was losing it. That I needed to be managed. I sat on the bathroom floor. Phone in hand. Staring at the photos. She'd planned this, not the slap maybe. But the narrative. The witnesses. The documentation. She was building a case, and I just handed her the evidence. My face throbbed, but worse was the realization settling in my chest. She wasn't just after my house, she was after my credibility. My independence. My life, and she thought she'd already won. The bruise turned purple by morning. I covered it with makeup. It didn't help. I called Gavin. Voicemail. I texted. No response. I waited. Nothing. By day 3, I stopped trying. The silence was louder than any argument we could have had. I cleaned. Scrubbed floors that were already clean. Wiped counters until my wrists ached. Organized closets that didn't need organizing. Movement felt like controlled. It wasn't. But I pretended. My phone stayed quiet. No calls. No texts. Facebook was a different story. The photos from the barbecue had spread. Shared. Commented on. Dissected. I'd been tagged in 6 more posts. All with the same theme, praying for this family. Mental decline is so hard to watch. My mother-in-law went through this. Get her evaluated soon. I deleted the tags. Turned off notifications. It didn't stop people from talking. On day 5, I went to the grocery store. The cashier, Kelly, I'd known her for years, gave me a sad smile. How are you holding up? Fine, I saw the pictures. That must have been hard. I swiped my card. It was a misunderstanding. Of course. But her eyes said something else. If you ever need anything, I left without my receipt. At the pharmacy, the technician asked if I was taking my medications correctly. Yes. Why? No reason. Just checking, but she watched me like I might forget my own name. I drove home feeling like a stranger in my own town. Day 7. A knock at the door. I looked through the peephole. My neighbor. Phyllis. From 2 houses down, I opened the door. She didn't smile. Just held out a folded piece of paper. I thought you should see this. I took it. What is it? Read it later. Not now. She walked away before I could ask questions. I went inside. Locked the door, unfolded the paper. A note. Handwritten. You're not crazy. She's telling people you're senile. That you're forgetting things. That you need to be moved to a facility. I heard her at the coffee shop yesterday. Thought you deserved to know. Phyllis, I read it 3 times. The words studied something inside me. I wasn't imagining it. She was building a story. And people were believing it. I sat at the kitchen table. Stared at the note, then I got up. Went to Franklin's study, opened the safe. Inside was his will. Documents. Account information. Everything organized the way he always kept things. I pulled out the will. Sat in his chair. Started reading. I'd read it before. After he died. But grief makes you miss things. This time I read slowly. Every word. Every clause. Page 12. Section 7. A clause I'd never noticed. In the event of proven coercion, undue influence, or mental incapacity claims made in bad faith against the primary beneficiary, all property shall revert to the estate trust and be redistributed according to secondary provisions. I read it again. Franklin had protected me. Even after death, his lawyer, Mr. Laird, had been meticulous. Paranoid, even. You never know who'll come out of the woodwork when there's money involved. Franklin used to say he'd planned for this, not this exactly. But something like it. I traced the words with my finger. Thank you, Franklin, I whispered. The house felt less emptied. I put the will back. Closed the safe, then I went to the kitchen. Opened the drawer where I kept old notebooks, found one with blank pages, wrote on the first page, evidence underneath. Day 1. Tessa showed up unannounced. Went through Franklin's study. Asked for personal information. Day 14. Birthday barbecue. Tessa slapped me. Gavin blamed me. Photos posted online. Day 21. Gavin won't return calls. Town treats me like I'm incompetent. Phyllis warns me Tessa is spreading rumors. I dated each entry. Kept writing every strange thing I'd noticed. Every conversation. Every red flag. The jewelry box moved, the mail opened, the prescriptions reordered, the questions about my house. My bills. My mental state, all of it. Written down. Dated. Documented. I filled 4 pages, then I stopped. Closed the notebook, sat back. For the first time in weeks, I felt calm, not happy. Not okay. But calm. I had a plan now. If Tessa wanted to paint me as weak, confused, incompetent, I'd let her. I'd play the part. Let her think she was winning, while I quietly gathered evidence. Built my case. Prepared my defense. She thought I was an easy target. An old woman. Alone. Grieving. Vulnerable. She didn't know Franklin had trained me to read contracts. To spot manipulation. To protect myself. She didn't know I'd survived 43 years of marriage to a man who planned for every possible outcome. She didn't know I was stronger than I looked. My phone buzzed. Gavin, finally. Mom, we need to talk. Not I'm sorry. Not are you okay? We need to talk. About what? About getting you some help. Tessa found a great facility. They specialize in memory care. I hung up. He called back. I didn't answer. He texted, you can't ignore this forever. I turned off my phone, went back to my notebook, added a new entry. Day 21, Gavin called. Mentioned facility. Tessa already picking the location. I underlined facility 3 times, then I made a list on the next page. To do 1. Call Mr. Laird. Confirm all protections. Point 1. Change all passwords. Bank. Email. Everything. Point 1. Security cameras. Front and back door. Point 1. Copy all important documents. Store somewhere safe. Point 1. Record everything. Every conversation. Every visit. 1. Stay calm. Stay smart. Stay 3 steps ahead. I stared at the list. It felt like war. Maybe it was. I thought about Gavin. About the son I'd raised. The boy who used to hold my hand in parking lots. Who cried when his goldfish died. Who called me every Sunday just to talk. That boy was gone. Or buried. Under Tessa's influence. Either way, I couldn't reach him anymore. So I'd have to save myself. I closed the notebook. Put it in the safe with Franklin's will, locked it, went to the kitchen. Made tea. I actually drank this time, sat at the table watching the sun set through the window. Tomorrow I'd start fighting back, quietly. Carefully. Strategically. Tonight, I'd rest, because wars aren't won in a day. They're won by the person who refuses to quit, and I was done quitting. Franklin's voice echoed in my head. Don't let them see you coming. I smiled into my tea. They wouldn't, not until it was too late. I called Mr. Laird the next morning. His secretary answered. Laird and Associates, this is Diane Chin. I need to speak with him about my husband's will. Point 1 moment. Point 60 seconds of hold music. Then his voice, Diane. It's been a while. How can I help? I need to know about the coercion clause. In Franklin's will, silence. Then, has something happened? Yes. Can you come to the office? Today if possible. What time? 3 o'clock. I hung up, spent the next 4 hours preparing. Copied documents. Printed Facebook posts. Wrote a timeline. Everything organized. The way Franklin would have done it. At 2:45, I drove to Mr. Laird's office downtown. He met me in the lobby. Gray hair. Sharp suit. Eyes that miss nothing. Come in. His office smelled like leather and old books. Files stacked on every surface. He gestured to a chair. Saturday, tell me everything. I did. Start to finish. The wedding. The ring. The dinner. Her questions about my house. The barbecue. The slap. Gavin's silence. The rumors that he took notes. Didn't interrupt. When I finished, he sat back. Do you have proof? I handed him the folder. Photos. Timeline. Phyllis's note. He read through everything. His jaw tightened. This is good. But I need more. Concrete evidence of financial coercion or manipulation. How do I get that? Document everything. Conversations. Visits. Any attempts to access your accounts or property. She already tried. Asked for my social security number. Went through Franklin's study. Did you give her anything? No. Good. Keep it that way. He pulled out Franklin's will. Pointed to the clause. This protects you. But we need to prove bad faith. That means showing she's deliberately lying about your competency to gain access to your assets. She's telling people I'm senile. We need her saying it on record. I thought about that. What if I recorded her, legally? What does that mean? California is a 2-party consent state. You need permission to record someone. So I can't? He leaned forward. I didn't say that. I said you need to be careful how you do it. I understood. There's something else, he said. Give me a few days. I want to look into Tessa's background. Why? Because people like this usually have a pattern. I left his office feeling lighter. Someone believed me. Someone with power to actually help. That week, I started paying attention differently. The postal clerk Marco caught me at the counter on Wednesday. Mrs. Chen, I need to tell you something. What? Someone tried to put a forwarding order on your mail. About a month ago. Who? A woman. Said she was your daughter. But I remembered you only have a son, so I denied it. What did she look like? Blonde. Late 30s. Really pushy. Tessa, thank you. Marco. No problem. Just thought you should know. I went straight home. Called Mr. Laird. She tried to redirect my mail. Did it go through? No. The clerk stopped it. Good. I need you to get that in writing. A statement from him. Date, time, description, okay, and Diane? I found something. Can you come in tomorrow? Yes, I barely slept that night. The next day, Mr. Laird's office. 2 p.m. He had 3 folders on his desk. Sit down. Saturday he opened the first folder. Tessa Monroe. Maiden name Richards. Married once before. Divorced 3 years ago. He slid a document across the desk. Divorce decree. Her first husband cited financial abuse and fraud. Keep going, he said, opening the second folder. Court documents. Civil suits. Gambling debts totaling $83,000. 2 creditors still chasing her. She's broke, I said, worse than broke. She's desperate. The third folder. The thickest one. 2 fraud investigations. 1 dropped due to lack of evidence. 1 settled quietly out of court. He showed me the details. She convinced an elderly man to add her to his bank account. Drained it over 6 months. His family sued. She settled for $40,000 and a non-disclosure agreement. My hands shook holding the papers. She's done this before, yes. And she's doing it again. I felt sick. And relieved. Both at once. This is enough, it's a start. But we need current evidence. Proof she's targeting you specifically. I thought fast. What if I recorded her? Without her knowing? I told you, I know what you told me. But what if she came to my house? What if I just happened to have my phone recording? He studied me. If you did that hypothetically, you'd need to be very careful. And you didn't hear that from me. I understand. I left with copies of everything. That night, I sat in Franklin's chair. Looked at the files. Tessa had done this before. Targeted someone vulnerable. Isolated them. Took everything, but her last victim didn't have Franklin's protections. Or his attorney. Or his widow, who was angrier than she looked. My phone rang. Unknown number. Hello, Mrs. Chen? This is Detective Vance with the Fraud Division. I'd like to ask you some questions about Tessa Monroe. My heart jumped. What about her? We've received a complaint. From a previous victim's family. They say she might be targeting someone new. Your name came up. How? Your son's marriage license. Public record. We do our homework. I sat down. What do you need from me? Everything you've got, I told him. He listened. Do you have documentation? Yes. And I'm working with Franklin's attorney. Good. Keep doing that. And Mrs. Chen? Yes, be careful. People like this get dangerous when they're cornered. He hung up. I sat in the dark for an hour. Then I got up. Pulled up my notebook, added a new entry. Day 34, mail forwarding attempt. Background check complete. Previous fraud victim. Police involved. Building case. I stared at the page. This was really happening, not just paranoia. Not just suspicion, real fraud. Real danger, and I was in the middle of it. But I wasn't alone anymore. I had Mr. Laird. Detective Vance. Evidence. Protection. I had Franklin's plan working from beyond the grave, and I had something Tessa didn't expect. I had rage. Cold. Patient. Focused. She thought I was weak. She was wrong. I was just getting started. Mr. Laird called on a Monday. I filed the protective clause. All property transfers are frozen pending investigation. What does that mean? It means she can't touch anything. House. Accounts. Assets. All locked. Will she know? Not immediately. She'd have to try something first. Then she'd hit a wall. Good, Diane, I need you to do something for me. What? Act normal. Don't let her know you're onto her. We need her to make a mistake. She already has. We need a bigger one. Something undeniable. I understood. Play weak. Let her get confident. Watch her slip. 2 days later, Tessa texted, planning a little get-together Saturday. Nothing big. Just want to celebrate family love. I stared at the message. Another party. Another performance. I texted back, that sounds nice. She responded immediately, great. Can you bring dessert? Your pies are amazing. Sure. 3 heart emojis. I put the phone down. Spent Wednesday baking. Apple pie. Cherry pie. The recipes Franklin loved. While the pies cooled, I called Phyllis. I need a favor. Name it. Saturday. Tessa's having a party. I need you to come. And bring your phone. Why? Just trust me. Record everything. Stay close to her. Silence. Then, you're setting her up. Yes, I'm in. Saturday came fast. I dress simple. Cardigan. Slacks. The kind of outfit that screams harmless old lady. Loaded the pies in my car. Drove to Gavin's house. Cars already lined the street. Music playing. People laughing. Tessa met me at the door. You came. And you brought pies. She took them from my hands. These look so good. Very homemade. The way she said homemade felt like an insult. I smiled. I did my best. Of course you did. She set the pies on the counter. Why don't you sit down? You look tired. I'm fine. Nonsense. Here. She guided me to a chair on the patio. Stay put. Mingle. Enjoy yourself. Saturday. Phyllis arrived 20 minutes later. She spotted me. Gave a slight nod. Her phone was already in her hand. Recording. The party continued. People ate. Drank. Talked too loud. Tessa worked the crowd. Touching arms. Laughing. Playing hostess. I watched her move. The way she commanded the space. The way people responded to her. She was good. I'd give her that. Around 3 p.m., she brought me a plate of food I didn't ask for. You need to eat something. I'm not hungry, Diane. She sat next to me. Lowered her voice. We need to talk about your living situation. My what? Your house. It's too much for you. We've been looking at some really nice senior communities. I like my house. I know you think that. But it's not safe anymore. You can't maintain it alone. I maintain it fine, she sighed. Theatrical. This is what I mean. You're not being realistic. Across the patio, Phyllis's phone was pointed right at us. I'm being perfectly realistic, I said. Are you? Because Gavin and I have noticed some concerning things. The forgetfulness. The confusion. The aggression. I'm not aggressive. You hit me at your birthday. You hit me. That's not how I remember it. She smiled. Sad. Sympathetic. And that's the problem. Your memory isn't reliable anymore. My jaw tightened. My memory is fine, is it? Do you remember what you had for breakfast? Oatmeal, are you sure? Because Gavin said you called him 3 times last week asking if you'd already eaten. I never called him about that, see? You don't remember. She touched my hand. It's okay, Diane. This happens. We just need to get you somewhere safe. Somewhere with medical staff who can help. I don't need help. Everyone needs help sometimes. Her voice got louder. Just enough for people nearby to hear. There's no shame in admitting you can't do this alone anymore. I pulled my hand away. Stop, I'm trying to help you. You're trying to take my house. Her eyes flashed. Just for a second. Then the mask came back. That's a terrible thing to say. It's the truth. You're confused. I'm not confused. I know exactly what you're doing. She stood. Gavin needs to hear this. Go get him. She walked away. Tight smile. Clenched fists. Phyllis moved closer. Phone still recording. Gavin appeared. Tessa whispered to him. He looked at me. Concerned. Sad. They came over together. Mom, Tessa says you're upset. I'm not upset. I'm clear. About what? About her wanting me out of my house so she can sell it. Tessa gasped. I never said that. You implied it. Multiple times. I suggested senior living for your safety. That's completely different, is it? Gavin rubbed his face. Mom, no one's trying to take your house. Then why did she try to redirect my mail? Why did she go through Franklin's study? Why is she asking about my finances? I was trying to help organize things. You were trying to access things. This is exactly what I'm talking about, Tessa said to Gavin. These paranoid delusions. She needs professional evaluation. I'm standing right here, I said. Don't talk about me like I'm not. See how aggressive she gets? Tessa's eyes were wet now. Fake tears. I'm scared for her. For us. I stood. I'm leaving, Mom. Wait, no. I'm done. I walked through the house. Phyllis followed close behind. Outside, a man approached. 30s. Glasses. Holding a notebook. Diane Chen? I stopped. Yes, I'm Ben Torres. Local journalist. I received some interesting information about Tessa Monroe. Mind if I ask you a few questions? Behind me, the door opened. Tessa appeared. She saw the notebook. Her face changed. Who are you? Ben Torres. I'd like to ask about your previous marriage. And the fraud settlement. The color drained from her face. I don't know what you're talking about. Really? Because I have court documents that say otherwise. People were coming outside now. Watching. This is harassment, Tessa said. It's journalism. Public record. Would you like to comment on the gambling debts? The $83,000 you owe? Gavin appeared behind her. What's going on? Nothing, Tessa said quickly. This man is lying. I'm not lying. I have documentation. He pulled out a folder. Would you like to see? Her hands shook. Get out, this is a public street, get out, her voice cracked. The mask was falling. Gavin took the folder. Started reading. His face went from confusion to shock to something that looked like grief. Tessa. What is this? It's nothing. Lies. Someone's trying to sabotage us. This is a court document. It has your name. Your signature. She grabbed for it. He pulled back. You lied to me. I didn't. You lied about everything. People were recording now. Phones up. Cameras on. Tessa saw them. Realized what was happening. She looked at me. For the first time, I saw her clearly. No mask. No act, just rage. You did this, she hissed. No. You did this to yourself. You'll regret this. I don't think I will. She turned and ran inside. The door slammed. Gavin stood there. Folder in hand. Face gray. Mom, read it all, I said. Every page. I walked to my car. Phyllis beside me. Got everything? I asked quietly. Every word. Good. I drove home that night. I slept better than I had in months. The trap had sprung. Now we'd see what crawled out. Mr. Laird called Sunday morning. We have a court date. 2 weeks. That fast? Detective Vance pushed it through. They found more victims. 3 others. All elderly. All the same pattern. My stomach turned. She's done this 3 times, that we know of. Could be more. What happens now? We present evidence. The judge reviews the will's protective clause. If we prove bad faith, everything reverts. House stays yours. Any transfers she attempted get reversed, and her? That's up to the DA. But fraud charges are likely that I hung up. Sat in the quiet. 3 other people. 3 other families destroyed, and I almost became number 4. The next 2 weeks moved slow and fast at once. Tessa tried calling. I blocked her. She showed up at my door once. I didn't answer. She left a note, "We can still fix this." Pleased, I threw it away. Gavin called once. Left a voicemail. "Mom. I'm sorry. I didn't know any of it. I should have listened. I should have believed you. I don't know how to fix this. But I want to try. Call me when you're ready." I saved it. Didn't call back yet. The morning of the hearing, I wore navy blue. Franklin's favorite color on me. Mr. Laird met me outside the courthouse. "Ready?" "Yes." "Remember. Stay calm. Answer honestly. Don't engage with her." "I won't." We walked inside. The courtroom was smaller than I expected. Wood paneling. Fluorescent lights. Rows of benches half full. Tessa sat at the defendant's table with her lawyer. She wore black. Hair pulled back. Makeup subtle, playing victim already. She didn't look at me. Gavin sat in the back row. Alone, our eyes met. He nodded once. I nodded back. The judge entered. Everyone stood. "Be seated." The hearing started. Mr. Laird presented first. Franklin's will. The protective clause. Evidence of Tessa's attempts to access my property and finances, the mail forwarding attempt. The questions about bills. The suggestion of senior living. Then Detective Vance testified. Her criminal history. Previous victims. The pattern. The courtroom was silent. Even the air felt heavy. Tessa's lawyer tried. He really did. My client was simply trying to help an elderly woman who was clearly struggling. Your client tried to redirect her mail, Mr. Laird interrupted. Without permission. That's fraud. A misunderstanding, a crime. The judge held up a hand. I've heard enough. She reviewed the documents. 10 minutes of silence, then she looked up. Mrs. Monroe. Stand. Tessa stood. Her lawyer beside her. I've reviewed the evidence. The will's protective clause is clear. In cases of proven coercion or undue influence, property reverts to the original trust provisions. Tessa's jaw tightened. Based on the evidence presented, the attempted mail fraud, the financial manipulation, and your documented history of elder exploitation, I find sufficient cause to invoke this clause. She paused. All property transfers, attempted or completed, are hereby reversed. The house at 428 Maple Street remains solely in Diane Chen's name. My chest loosened. Furthermore, I'm ordering a freeze on any accounts where Mrs. Chen's funds may have been transferred. Those amounts will be audited and returned. Tessa's face went white. The district attorney will pursue criminal charges separately. This hearing is concluded. The gavel hit was over. Tessa turned. Looked at me. Her eyes weren't sad. They were cold. Empty. This isn't finished, she mouthed. I didn't react. Her lawyer pulled her toward the exit. Reporters waited in the hallway. I heard the questions start. Mrs. Monroe, is it true you have 3 prior victims? Did you marry for money? Do you have a statement? Her voice rose. No comment. Leave me alone. A crash. Someone gasped. Through the doorway, I saw her stumble on the courthouse steps. Her heel caught. She went down hard. Cameras flashed. Someone helped her up. She shoved them away. Limp to ACAR. Gone. Mr. Laird touched my arm. You did it. We did it. No. You did. You kept records. You stayed smart. You fought back. I nodded. Didn't trust my voice yet. Gavin appeared. Standing a few feet away. Mom, Gavin, can we talk? I looked at him. Really looked. He'd lost weight. His eyes were red. He looked older than 32. Not today, I said. Soft. Not cruel. But soon, okay. He swallowed hard. I'm sorry. I know that's not enough. But I know. He started to leave. I touched his arm. Go home, son. Get some rest. He nodded. Left. Laird drove me home. At my door, he handed me a folder, copies of everything. Keep them safe. I will. Thank you. For everything, thank Franklin. He's the one who planned for this, I do. Every day. He left, I walked inside. Locked the door, the house was quiet. But not empty. I went to Franklin's portrait. Touched the frame, you protected me. Even after you were gone. My voice cracked, I wish you were here. To see this. To know I'm okay. The house settled. A creak. The heater kicking on, almost like an answer. I made tea. Sat in Franklin's chair, the folder sat on the desk. Evidence. Proof. Victory, but it didn't feel like victory. It felt like survival, and that was enough. My phone buzzed. Detective Vance, DA is filing charges. 5 counts fraud. 2 counts elder abuse. She won't be doing this again. Me, thank you, him. You're tougher than you look, Mrs. Chin. Me, I had a good teacher. I set the phone down, looked around the study. Franklin's books. His desk. His careful organization. Everything he built. Everything he protected. It was still here. I was still here. Tessa had tried to take it all, and failed, not because I was lucky. Because I was prepared. Because Franklin had been meticulous, because I'd been stronger than she expected. I finished my tea, turned off the lights, went to bed. For the first time in months, I didn't lock my bedroom door. I didn't need to anymore. The war was over. I'd won, not with applause or celebration. Just with the quiet satisfaction of still being standing, still being free, still being me, and that was more than enough. Outside, the neighborhood settled into night. Inside, the house breathed steady. Franklin's portrait watched over everything. And I finally slept. The house was mine again, but peace wasn't. The first week after the hearing, I slept with every light on. Checked the locks 3 times before bed. Jumped at every sound. A car door. Wind against the window. The house settling, each one felt like a threat. Detective Vance had said she wouldn't be back. The restraining order was clear, but fear doesn't listen to paperwork. I kept the evidence folder in the safe. My phone charged next to the bed. Mr. Laird's number on speed dial, just in case. Gavin sent an email. Then another. Then one every few days. Short. Careful. Like he was afraid I'd break. Mom, I'm in therapy. Trying to understand how I missed everything. Mom, I'm sorry. I know I keep saying that. I don't know what else to say. Mom, I'm not asking for forgiveness yet. Just want you to know I'm working on myself. I read them all. Didn't respond at first. What was there to say? You chose her over me. You called me crazy. You believed her lies, but saying it wouldn't change anything. So I waited. Week 3, I wrote back, I'm glad you're getting help. Take your time. I'm not going anywhere. He responded in minutes, thank you. Week 5, he asked to meet for coffee. I said yes. We met at the diner downtown. Neutral ground. He looked different. Thinner. Tired. But his eyes were clearer. Hi, Mom. Hi. We ordered coffee. Neither of us touched it at first. I've been learning about gaslighting, he said. In therapy. How it works. How victims don't even realize it's happening. Okay, I was a victim too. But that doesn't excuse what I did to you. I waited. She made me doubt reality. My memories. What I saw with my own eyes. And I let her. His voice cracked. I let her convince me you were the problem. And I'm so sorry. I know. Do you forgive me? I sipped my coffee. Cold already. I don't know yet. He nodded. That's fair, but I'm willing to try. If you are, I am. We talked for an hour. Small steps. Careful words. When we left, he hugged me. I let him. It wasn't fixed. But it was starting, weeks turned into months, winter came, I started going to a community center on Thursdays. A grief support group at first, but then I saw a flyer. Life skills for seniors, someone was teaching people how to use smartphones. How to spot scams. I talked to the coordinator. Do you have anything about financial literacy? Legal documents? No. But we should. Would you be interested in teaching me? Why not? So I did, every Thursday. 2 p.m., Understanding Your Legal Rights became my class. I taught widows how to read contracts, how to spot coercion, how to protect their assets. 10 people showed up the first week. 20 by week 3. They asked questions, took notes, shared their own stories. 1 woman, Patricia, stayed after class. My daughter-in-law keeps asking about my house. Says I should sell. Give her the money for a down payment on hers. What do you want to do? Keep it. It's mine, then keep it, but she says I'm being selfish. It's not selfish to protect what's yours. She cried. Thank you. I needed to hear that. I gave her Mr. Laird's card. Teaching helped. Gave me purpose. Turned my pain into something useful. At night, the house felt less empty. I still heard sounds. Still checked locks, but less frantically now. One night, I woke up at 3 a.m., thought I heard Franklin's cough. That dry, familiar sound from his last year. My chest tightened. But then I realized, I was smiling, not sad. Not scared, just remembering, the sound wasn't a ghost. It was a memory, and memories didn't hurt anymore. They just existed, proof that he'd been here. That we'd been real. I got up. Made tea. Sat in the kitchen watching snow fall through the window. The bruise on my cheek was gone now. Had been for months, but if I looked close in the mirror, I could still see a faint line. A shadow where it had been. A reminder, not of Tessa. Not of the slap, but of what I'd survived. February came. Then March. Gavin and I had coffee every other week. Sometimes dinnered. It wasn't the same as before. Maybe it never would be, but it was something. He told me about therapy. About recognizing patterns. About learning to trust himself again. She was my first serious relationship after college, he said. I wanted so badly for it to work. I ignored every red flag. We all do that sometimes. You didn't, I did. I just had more practice spotting them. He smiled. Sad. I wish I'd listened to you. Me too. But we're here now. Yeah. One Saturday, he showed up at my house with paint samples. What's this? I want to help you repaint the guest room. If you'll let me. I looked at the samples. Then at him. Okay. We spent the day painting. Barely talked. Just worked. When we finished, the room looked new, fresh. Clean. Ready for whatever came next. Thank you, I said. Thank you for letting me help. Amici left at sunset. I stood in the guest room looking at the walls. This was healing, not the paint. The process, reclaiming space. Rebuilding trust. 1 small step at a time. That night, I didn't turn on all the lights, just the lamp by my bed, and I slept. No nightmares. No waking up in panic, just sleep. In the morning, I made breakfast. Checked my emails. One from Detective Vance. Tessa Monroe sentenced. 3 years. Restitution ordered for all victims. She won't be bothering you again. 3 years. It felt like both too much and not enough. But it was justice, and justice was all I'd wanted. I forwarded the email to Gavin. He replied, good. I sat back in Franklin's chair. The winter had been long. Cold. Difficult, but I'd made it through. The house was still mine. My peace was coming back. My son was trying, and I was stronger than I'd been before. Not because I'd wanted to be, but because I'd had no choice. Franklin's portrait caught my eye. Did it? I whispered. The house was quiet, but it felt like agreement. Spring was coming, and I was ready for it. 2 years passed, not quickly, but steadily, the kind of time that heals if you let it. My Thursday classes grew. 30 people now. Sometimes 40. I'd helped 12 women protect their assets. Connected them with Mr. Laird. Taught them to recognize the signs. None of them would be victims like I almost was. Gavin and I had dinner every Sunday. Our tradition now, sometimes at his place. Sometimes mine. We didn't talk about Tessa. Didn't need to, she was serving her sentence. 3 years turned into 5 after they found 2 more victims. Good point. One Sunday in April, Gavin called, "Can I bring someone to dinner?" I froze. Someone? Yeah. Her name's Brenda. We've been seeing each other for a few months. I want you to meet her. My chest tightened. Gavin, I know. I know what you're thinking. But she's different. I'm different. I promised. I wanted to say no. Wanted to protect both of us from another disaster. But I heard something in his voice. Hope. Real hope. Okay. This Sunday. Thank you, Mom. I spent the week preparing. Cleaning. Cooking. Worrying. What if she was another Tessa? What if I couldn't spot it this time? What if I ruined this for him by being too careful? Sunday came warm and bright. Spring finally arriving. I made pot roast. Franklin's recipe. Mashed potatoes. Green beans from the garden. The table looked nice. Not fancy. Just welcoming. 86. The doorbell rang. I checked my reflection. Smoothed my hair. Opened the door. Gavin stood there smiling. Next to him, a woman. Brenda. Mid-30s, brown hair pulled back. Simple dress. No jewelry except small earrings. Her eyes were kind. Steady, not performing. Just present. Hi, Mrs. Chin. I'm Brenda, call me Diane. Please. Diane. She smiled. Genuine. Thank you for having me. They came inside. Brenda looked around. Not scanning for value. Just observing. What a beautiful home, thank you. I've been here 40 years, it feels like it. In a good way. Like it has stories. I liked her already. Couldn't help it, dinner was easy. Conversation flowed naturally. Brenda worked as a librarian. Loved books. Hiking. Her elderly dog named Biscuit, she asked about my classes. Actually listened to the answers. That's incredible. Teaching people to protect themselves. After everything you went through, Gavin had told her. Of course he had. It helps, I said. Turning pain into purpose, that takes real strength. I didn't know what to say to that. When dessert came, apple pie, Brenda helped clear the table without being asked. We worked in the kitchen. Side by side, she hummed while washing dishes. A tune I recognized but couldn't place. What song is that? Oh. My grandmother used to sing it. In the garden. Old hymn. My breath caught. Franklin used to hum that. When he worked in the yard. Really? It's a good one. We finished the dishes. Rejoined Gavin in the living room. Coffee. More conversation. Easy. Comfortable. Around 8, they got ready to leave. At the door, Brenda hugged me. Not the aggressive grab Tessa used to do, just a real, warm hug. I heard what happened, she said quietly. With Gavin's ex-wife. What she tried to do to you. I stiffened, and I just want you to know, you're stronger than anyone I know. What you did. How you fought back. That's incredible. I looked at her eyes. Searching for manipulation, performance. Lies, found none. Thank you, I said, and for the first time, I believed it. I was strong. Not because I wanted to be. But because I'd survived. They left. Gavin waved from the car. I watched them drive away. The house felt different. Lighter, not empty. Just peaceful. I went back inside. Made more tea, sat in the living room as sunset painted the walls gold. Franklin's portrait watched from the mantel. I got up. Carried it to the windowsill, set it where the light hit it perfectly. Look, I said. Spring came back, the frame was warm under my fingers. I in the kitchen, the kettle whistled. Outside, birds fought over breadcrumbs I'd scattered that morning. Life continuing. Moving forward, I thought about the settlement money. Still sitting in the account, most of it anyway. I'd used some for the house. Some for Gavin's therapy, but there was more. Enough to do something meaningful. I called Mr. Laird the next morning. I want to set up a fund for legal aid. Specifically for seniors dealing with financial exploitation. That's a wonderful idea. Can you help me do it right? Absolutely. We set it up. The Franklin Chin Legal Defense Fund, IT, would help people like Patricia. Like the others in my class, people who needed protection but couldn't afford it. Turning Tessa's theft into something good, justice had been served. Jail time. Restitution. Restraining orders, but this felt like more. This felt like winning, not against her. Against what she represented, fear. Manipulation. Exploitation. I'd taken all of that and built something better. That Sunday, Gavin and Brenda came again, and the Sunday after IT became routine. Our new tradition. Sometimes Brenda brought biscuit. The old dog slept by the fireplace while we ate. Sometimes we played cards. Sometimes just talked. IT felt like family, real family. Built on truth instead of lies. One evening, after they left, I sat on the porch. The neighborhood was quiet. Peaceful. I thought about the journey. Where I'd been. Where I was now, the wedding photos online. The slap. The fear. The fight, all of it had led here. This porch. This peace. This life I'd reclaimed. I wasn't the same person I'd been 2 years ago. I was stronger. Smarter. More careful, but also more open. More willing to trust, slowly, carefully, but genuinely. Because Tessa had taught me something. Not everyone is safe. But not everyone is dangerous either. The trick is knowing the difference, and I knew now. Inside, my phone rang. Patricia from class. Diane? I used that lawyer you recommended. He helped me. My daughter-in-law backed off. I get to keep my house. That's wonderful. It's because of you. Thank you, you did the hard part. I just showed you the tools. We talked for 10 minutes. When I hung up, I was smiling. This was the life Franklin had protected, not just the house. Not just the money, but the ability to help others. To make a difference. To matter. I went back inside, made tea. Real tea this time. Not just something to hold. Sat in Franklin's chair and actually drank it. The house settled around me. Familiar creaks. Warm walls. Outside, spring continued its work. Inside, so did I. Justice had been served cold in that courtroom, but peace had finally stayed for tea, and that was better than any victory I could have imagined. You're absolutely right. Let me add a powerful call to action that keeps viewers engaged even after the story ends. If Diane's story taught you anything, it's this: protect yourself before you need protection. Right now, someone in your family might be going through exactly what Diane went through. They're being manipulated, isolated, gaslit into thinking they're the problem. Share this story with them. Not as a warning. As permission to trust their instincts. And if you've ever felt like Diane, doubted, dismissed, made to feel crazy when you knew something was wrong, drop a comment. Tell me what happened. You're not alone. I read every single comment. And your story might save someone else. Hit subscribe if you want more stories like this. Real people. Real fights. Real justice, because the truth is, there are more Tessas out there than you think, but there are also more Dianes. Strong. Smart. Ready to fight back. Which one will you be? Before you go answer this, have you ever met someone like Tessa? Someone too perfect. Too helpful. Too interested in things that weren't theirs? Comment I see it if you've spotted the red flags. Comment it happened if you lived through it. Comment never again if you got out. Your story matters. Share it below, and if this opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to see it. You might just save them from their own Tessa. Subscribe for more stories where the underdog doesn't just survive, they win. See you in the next one.